Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Start. I hope my sound is okay, first and foremost. I've done something which I think has fixed my up and down problems, but please let me know if I vanish off the levels at some point. My erstwhile and wonderful friends should be perfectly fine. They're beautiful. They always sound great. So it's just me that's the problem. But first and foremost, welcome to tonight's Boys from the Baltic Star. We're so happy to have you with us. We already see some friends in chat, which fills us full of a lot of joy. Spezza's here in the house, despite the high winds. He's living the dream tonight, and we're happy to have you with us. John, over in Greece, thank you so much for staying up for us. And Ed, thank you for waking up to us, although 11 a.m. is it's hardly a hardship, let's face it, but it is the dream. Thank you, anyone else that is lurking. You're more than welcome to stay for as long or short as you want. You can lurk if you want. You can chat if you want. Chat is friendly and we are friendly too. It's a slightly different kind of episode this evening. We'll explain in a minute. So we can interact with you. You can join in a little bit in your chatter. And we like to break many of the walls, all the walls I'm going with. We break all the walls. And we like to make anything canon. Anything goes. So get involved in that regard. If it's your first time, you are very, very welcome. I hope you appreciate this evening. It's a bit of a summary from what's happened before. We're doing it in a different way to the way we normally summarize things, and I hope that you enjoy the way we do it. What we have done is keep our Imperial credits. Click on the red sun, spend some points. Anything that's pink makes a noise. I've turned off the Lizards Have Escaped tonight because I want a relaxing evening. I know, this is your favourite. Maybe I'll put it on later as a treat. But anything reddish pink will play some music and destroy the chance of us ever making any money on YouTube. Everything else does things. Click on it, find out. Vote for which newsreader you like the most. Give a fist bump to your homies. Toast a fallen comrade. Make one of us give a minute of wisdom on something. One thing for 1 credit and 1 credit only, forever and ever and ever. My sound is staying at 88. Wonderful. Is I'll drink to that. If we say something or you just want us to drink, just click on I'll drink to that and we'll raise a glass or a cup or whatever we're doing. Other merch is available. I drink with Greyhill. And we'll share a drink. If you want Ben to really drink, I think I have turned on It's Ben's night off. So he will drink because, like I say, we're doing things slightly differently this evening. It's not really a night off. You're sort of half off, aren't you, really, I'd say?
Yeah. It's a sort of Friday afternoon kind of one.
Perfect. So, with no further ado, let's get going because we're going to finish at 1 because Ewan needs to skedaddle tomorrow morning. So it's going to be a 2-part summary. So my name is Luke. I'm in the bottom right-hand corner. Hello, right next to Caboodle. In fact, look, it's as if Caboodle is right next to me. I could reach out and stroke it. It's her, him, it, him, her. I don't know. It's been so long since I've listened about Caboodle. I make all the mistakes. It's a thing until I know otherwise. But I'm just one of the 3 of the Boys in the Baltic Star. I play Kara and Soraya. We'll go into them later on. Kara's role will become very obvious very quickly tonight. But Soraya's chilled out this evening. She's had a hard time down on the planet, so she's relaxing a bit. So she'll take a back seat. So any Soraya lovers, I apologise in advance. However, I'm sure most of you here are here for your love of someone else, not Soraya, and that person is the man above me. He is the Floofmeister General, my brother from another mother. He is the housewife's favourite and the man with the mightiest quiff in town. He is the magical Ewan. Good evening, Ewan. How are you?
Hey, look, I'm wonderful, thanks. I'm wonderful. It's Friday night. Got a bottle of wine, and we're going to do some role playing with 2 dear friends. What more can I want?
Better than doing it with 2 cheap friends, I suppose.
True.
You mentioned we are role playing, and although it's a summary, there is some role playing, so we need to know who you play.
Oh, sorry. Is that a spoiler? I play Stefan and Agnar in our role play.
Tell us
We're
about
getting into that later, right? Or do you want to know something?
Tell us about Stefan for tonight. What's his favourite food?
Ooh, that is a very good question. I mean, if you asked Soraya, his favourite food would be cheesy balls because they are both quite accustomed to some cheesy balls. However, Stefan has a secret. Trying to think of a good word. Penchant? Maybe not.
No, penchant's a good word.
For just a little bit of dark chocolate. Not too much, because it can get a bit sickly.
So, yeah, bitter, mysterious, and sickly, just like him.
Just like Stefan.
Just like Stefan. But one man who's we can never get sick of is the man right up the top, both physically and mentally, because he is the smartest man in any room, especially this one. He lives his entire life in the Twin Peaks dream sequence and is flanked at all times by half a dozen heavily oiled, topless Eastern European men that carry his curtain around like some sort of proud cloak. He is the magnificent Ben. Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Well, very well. Yes, looking forward to this. This is a slight experiment tonight, so we'll see how it goes, but it should be fine.
Oh, it's a joy. We never ask you this, Ben. Pick one of the billions of characters that you play. Anyone.
Right.
The first one that comes to your mind.
All right.
What's the idea of a nice, relaxing Saturday night?
The one that leapt to my mind immediately was Kat, who I don't think believes in nice, relaxing Saturday nights. She believes in late nights and parties. But there are certainly people on the crew who do believe in relaxing Saturday nights. I suspect Kron is probably the most relaxed on a Saturday night, practically comatose.
What a guy. I love Kron. And that's why I'm kind of excited for this evening, Ben. Because where did we leave? Where did we leave our adventure?
Well, actually, that's a very good question. So, it's time to say our farewells to Geeka. With the excitement of the Pelago race left far behind and the careful work to make sure that Verima Sefron was a useful ally in the most critical moments, our heroes have made a success of their trip. Ahead of them, the return, finally, to the Baltic Star herself, now upgraded, fitted out, and ready for a new adventure. Behind them they leave the mysteries of the island of Herrenhal, where Rose was rescued and Kat badly hurt. Anton Fess wanted them to stay away from there. Instead, they stole his pictures of the inside of the mountain and made good their escape. They have a new crewmate, Jural Kags, who seems nice. Just a shame that dying mercenary left them with such a foreboding message, really, to take the gloss off their success. And that is where we resume the story.
Speaking of which, Sparrow, don't worry. You fear that you've sort of killed that bit of story, but fear not, because it's back alive again. Ben, please.
What was that? Sorry.
Sparrow's a bit upset about killing the story on the Baltic Star, but he needn't be worried because, well, I think we need to hand back over to you again.
We do, because this has been a little while, but erstwhile, just a few days ago, Kron Sarama was sitting quietly on the Baltic Star. To be completely accurate, he was sitting quietly and staring at his communicator. Once Rachel Axis had signed off telling him that Rose's cat, Caboodle, was about to interrogate a suspect, he'd been sitting lost in thought. He was conducting a mental exercise of trying out all the possible interpretations of the sentence, Caboodle's about to interrogate a suspect, and still had no idea what could possibly be going on. Rachel Axis, on the other hand, was not only clear on the events unfolding on the table in front of her, but also had planned 2 secret surprises, one in each of the large hip pockets of her engineer's coverall. The officer sitting next to Axis glanced at the delicious-smelling cooked fish on the table and the large knife Axis was holding. He was very relaxed. Less relaxed was the suspect. Axis carefully cut into the fish and with the tip of the blade pulled back a long slice of fillet. Underneath the animal's spine was revealed, but it didn't look the way it should. Nor did the ribs. Instead of bones, the clear white lines were shattered into something more like powder, still forming the shape of where the bones should be, but with no structural strength. As Caboodle, in the holdall on the table caught the stronger scent of fish as it was sliced open, she let out another low, desperate moan and renewed her efforts to get through the mesh side of the holdall. The suspect still had no idea what was in the bag, but he knew it sounded aggressive, which it was if you happened to be a fish. It's imaginative, I'll give you that, said the officer. Killing someone with sound waves so powerful they just shatter bones and rupture organs. This fish had already been cooked when we put it through, so the flesh isn't obviously damaged, but if it had still had blood in it, in liquid form, the entire flesh would be evenly filled with it, every vein broken. The suspect thought for a long moment, but then said, I don't know what you're talking about. The officer nodded. Very well, denying it is your choice, of course. Axis? The engineer immediately took a bag and placed the fish inside before tucking it in her pocket. Once she'd folded her knife away as well and tucked it in the top pocket of her coverall, she slowly and carefully unzipped the holdall, and a moment later, a small furry head peered out of the top. Caboodle then jumped with great alacrity out onto the table and walked over to where the fish had been, sniffing the table, and feeling very much like her life was decidedly unfair. Why, in the final analysis, was there no fish for the cat? The suspect stared at the kitten. The kitten ignored the suspect because he wasn't a delicious fish. That's a cat. The sense of relief in the suspect's voice was unmistakable. Axis smiled at him. Oh, yes. Cats are remarkable things, you know. Some cats more so than others. This cat is a very useful animal in this moment. This cat can tell when someone's lying. She had, as she spoke, reached a hand into one of her hip pockets. The suspect looked at the tiny kitten. That's impossible. I'm an engineer, said Axis. I'm a battle cruiser. Immediately after she said the second part, she pressed a button on the communicator in her right hand. It caused a feedback on a transmission cycle, very high-pitched, beyond human hearing. Caboodle could hear the whine perfectly, though, and immediately sat upright, looking around for the source of the sudden sound. As quickly as it sounded, it was gone, so after a second, the kitten began exploring the table in search of fish. The suspect looked horrified. He couldn't mistake that the cat had clearly reacted to the lie. Meanwhile, on the Baltic Star, Kron Sarama's communicator had suddenly let out a strange whine. He stared at it, then gingerly lifted it to his ear. Is that you, Caboodle? But in the police interview room, on the space station, a suspect was staring with just as much concern at the kitten on the table. He was now firmly convinced this tiny animal could detect when someone was lying, and that's not a good thing when you're being interrogated on suspicion of murder and you are, in fact, guilty. For Caboodle, Rosie's cat, the table was proving a vexatious disappointment. Just a moment ago, there had been a fish on it, a delicious, perfectly grilled, aromatic fish. Caboodle knew this was true. Now the fish had gone. Tantalizing remnants of its scent remained, but that was all. Undeniably, this was deeply unfair. What, in the final analysis, was the point of a fish if it was not to be given to the cat? So, said the officer at the table as he fixed the suspect with a glare, all I need from you is for you to admit you rigged the hollow to kill someone. The suspect's eyes flicked back and forth between the officer and the cat, trying to find a way out of his predicament. He chose unwisely. He threw himself towards Caboodle, hands outstretched and a murderous look in his eyes. He didn't make it as far as the startled cat. Rachel Axis, current keeper of the animal, had always known this was a possibility. Her arm crossed the table in a fraction of a second, and it was that arm that the suspect struck. Axis was an engineer, so, despite her relatively modest size, her strength was deceptive. She only had to hold the frightened man off for a second or so before the officers in the room grabbed him and hauled him back into his chair. After the burst of aggression, the room became quiet again. The officer sat on the edge of the table and looked his suspect in the eye. Thank you for your confession. Take him away. A moment later, there were only 3 life forms in the room. The officer collecting his electronic tablet, Axis gently stroking the cat, and the crime-fighting kitten. Axis went to reach into her thigh pocket, winced, and used the other arm. She didn't think her arm was broken, but it had definitely taken a nasty hit. It was a bit more awkward because the uninjured arm was the wrong side to make it straightforward, but she teased out the second bag with the second fish in it. Dropping it on the table, she pulled it open and tipped out the fish, just as beautifully cooked as the first, but this one hadn't been thrown through the sabotaged hollow, so she felt it was safe for the cat. Caboodle let out a low moan and clambered over and through the engineer's fingers to get to the fish. She was so enthusiastic that there was no time for any niceties like cutting slices of the meat. There was just too much kitten all over the fish. She barely let out a purr as she ate. The fish was the only thing on her mind, and it was delicious.
Oh, what a hero.
Lovely stuff.
Okay. So over to you, Luke.
Oh. Hi, Carl Laska here, and I'm here on the Baltic Star. Let's get that beauty up. There she is. Oh, there she is. What a beauty, what a beauty. Let's get me up. There we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Put myself over Ben. We have a Ewan. We don't need Ewan. He's not important. There we go. I'm here on the Baltic Star, and I am finally, dear viewers, in my stateroom. It's the first time I've ever vlogged from my stateroom here on the Baltic Star. For those of you that don't know, I've put the deck plan up on the screen now, and I've highlighted a few rooms because, dear viewers, I'm taking you on a tour of the Baltic Star over the next couple of evenings, and I'm going to introduce you to my crew. We're going to go through some amazing adventures we've had recently, and hopefully you, all 320 of you currently watching, a record since we've done so well in the Pelago race. Thank you very much, by the way, for dear viewers. Thank you for all you've done for the team. We're going to enjoy it together. We're starting, if you can see it, at the top of the ship. I like to call it the top of ship. And you see those two purple rooms? Mine is the right one. Now, as you can see, my face is here against the wall. I have my usual artistic posters, a lot that I've done myself. As I zoom out, can you see this? This is a wonderful poster, won me a competition at my university. So I'm very proud of it. It was shown in local galleries and it was put out on billboards for a while as well. I'm a big fan of that. Here is a keepsake I had from Dilabru. No one was looking, and I stole a little bit of art, tore it off a wall, and it's here now. Here I've got, again, don't tell anyone, I stole a buckyball from the seamstress, and I did manage to get it signed by, I don't know who it was, some guy. I think he was like the 12th man or something. He didn't really play, but good enough for me. It's here. I'm keeping hold of it in case one of the crew want it at some point. And the most important of all, I'm sharing the room with someone this afternoon because we're chilling out. I've got a friend here. She needs a good bit of chilling. It's a small room, so I've shuffled over, and she is snuggled up at the top of my bed. You may know her. You've seen her before. She is one of Kara's angels. She is Rose. Good evening, lovely. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Very, very pleased to be here and not, struggling in terror on a submarine.
Yeah, to be honest, for those of you, dear viewers, that haven't been keeping up with my vlogs, we've spent the last week or so down on Geeker. I've been going about winning races for the mighty. I can't remember who it was now. I'm so excited. Who's my team again? ISB, my wonderful ISB team. See, that they mean so much to me. I haven't thrown them aside already. Look, my kit's still hanging up over there. Look, there it is. Wonderful. It's a bit torn, but we'll get into that later. I was winning races with my wonderful ISB team, and we lost track of you, Rose. One night we were out drinking at the very start of our holiday, and I didn't see you again really until we were rescuing you from Heron So what on earth happened?
Well, I got offered the chance to take a trip on one of the support boats for one of the teams, and it turned out to be a bit of a trap that I blundered into, and I encountered a nasty sort who we
Who is
know
this
well.
nasty sort, Rose? We've told you before, don't go off with strangers. I guess he.
Well, I didn't realize he'd be there, of course, and then we shot away from the island, and I had no idea where we were going. And then suddenly, I was being transferred to this submarine, which then submerged, and I was shut in a cabin on board. Didn't see much of anything then until they took me out on this weird island and led me up to the side of an entrance in the side of the mountain there, and it was weird and frightening. And then suddenly it wasn't anymore, and I was surrounded by ammunition flying everywhere, and the people who'd taken me were all having a really bad day.
Did you did you see much of the submarine? Much of who was on it? Like, I was attacked by these guys too, but did you hear anything about them? Or are they just some random goons?
They didn't seem to talk much, at least not in front of me. All they really did was barked orders, but they were dressed like military style people, or at least, um, mercenary type people. They they weren't very nice.
Well, we're happy to have you back. Um, it'll be nice. We've planned a drink tonight, haven't we? The first drink we're having together since the fateful night at the club, of course. Uh, Zoe got you sent home early that night, didn't she? And I'm glad you did.
Yeah, she seemed very keen on getting me out of there when it looked like there might be some trouble.
And she was right, of course.
Yeah, it's it's a shame she wasn't there to tell me not to get on the boat. Really,
Oh, what was the reason for you getting on the boat? Was it just too much drunkenness and excitement?
it was one of those things where, if you remember, we were kind of doing a bit of undercover work, Soraya and me,
Yes, I did
and
hear about that.
so we were sort of trying to infiltrate the teams a little bit and learn what we could. So when one of the people I'd been chatting to offered me a trip on the boat, I didn't really feel I could say no. I wanted to see if there was anything else I could learn. And then when, of course, I realized that my greed for that information had led me into trouble, it was too late.
Mm. Did he? I was speaking with Soraya on the flight back with our new special friend. I don't know if you've had a chance to speak to him really yet, but she said that they nearly got close to rescuing you. They thought.
That was what I heard. I knew nothing about it. I think that happened while I was locked in a cabin. But the way it was told to me, um, yes, they went after the boat, and then things went badly wrong. Something about the pitching of the boat and the wet deck meant that Zoe couldn't keep her feet and clamber around on the surface, and then um, eventually, even that turned out to be yet another trap. Um, and I mean, Zoe actually got injured, I think, before when that boat blew up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Much worse for wear for a while. She was nursed back to health by a floofy friend of ours, as always.
It is very useful having him around when you need him.
It's amazing that he can do so well medically when he's had about 14 whiskies and a ton of fancy cheesy balls. Most people crumble under that weight.
I think, truthfully, his medical skills seem to improve after a few whiskies.
Yeah, steadies his hand somewhat, I think. Maybe it's a Varga thing.
It could be. But no, I'm very thrilled to be back on the Baltic Star. Feels like sort of home again. and back with Caboodle.
Uh, apart from Caboodle, what are you looking forward to? We're just going into jump now. We've been discussing where we're jumping to. We've got a plan. You know the plan. We've got a week, haven't we? We've got a week now. What are you doing? What are you going to do for the week?
Well, I think I I'm torn between just trying to catch up on some rest. It's been a busy sort of time, so I might do that for a couple of days. But I have this idea that I'm going to try to learn proper skills to be a steward.
Ooh, proper skills. Now, see, this is good. This is good, Rose. But you do know what happens to stewards on the Baltic Star.
I know that stewards have historically not survived all that well, but on the other hand, a that's only true of one steward so far.
And of course, he is well remembered with large murals and toasts and holographic machines at each table to take your order.
Indeed, yes, he is well remembered on board, and we all know of him. Even if even the people who came after him will know all about him.
Now, Rose, grab your drink by the side of you, and I think we should raise a glass, Rose. All right? We'll raise one. As you've got big feet to step into, you've got big forearms to step into, and you need to keep working on that strong chin of yours. Because let's raise a glass to Grey Hill Bast.
To Greyhill.
May his steady, sturdy arms guide you, and his wise words linger in your ears as you pour us drinks into the late night.
I think I can be useful.
Oh, and all the stories you can tell. You're such a good talker, Rose. You're going to win people over. Not that you need to do it with any of the crew here. Everyone loves you.
Well, that's nice.
Did you did you not see how quickly Zoe jumped to save you?
Yeah, Zoe's like a big sister, you know. She has a very protective vibe, I think.
Yeah, she's good like that. She's like it for all of us. She's the best of us all rolled into one. Sometimes I feel a bit, I don't know, a bit weak and pitiful stood next to her. Not as smart as her. I'm not as strong as her. Not as good a shot as her. What a lady.
Well, yeah, she's got some gaps in her skill set, you might say. She doesn't seem to be very good at talking to people without making them frightened or worried.
That's why you two are a good team because you can talk to people without making them frightened or worried.
Yes, yes, mostly they talk down to me so much because they're so unfrightened and unworried.
Well, that's why I was glad that I was able to whip you away from the life you were in, and bring you into the stars with us, and hopefully give you a chance to really grow as a person and experience things that you'd never have had the chance to.
I can tell you it's a hugely superior in life. It really is.
Good. You add so much to the crew, Rose. And speaking of crew, actually, um, let me just check my watch. Perfect. Right on time. Now, sit there. Close your eyes, Rose. I'll be back in a second. I promise. It's not a prank. It's not a prank. Close your
Okay.
eyes and hold out your arms. Put the drink down, though, if I were you.
All right.
Now, don't mind me. I'm opening the door, but I'm not doing a runner. This bit's okay. You got your arms open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, eyes closed.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I've got someone here who you haven't seen for a while. Take her in her hands and open your eyes. I'm off on a journey. I'll see you soon, Rose. You and Caboodle get reacquainted.
Lovely. Thank you.
Right, dear viewers, we'll leave Rose with her beloved kitten to get reacquainted. It's been a long time, weeks and weeks and weeks. You see, dear viewers, while the Baltic Star is our ship, it's been weeks since we've properly been upon her. And I can remember when Rose got Caboodle. And since then, let me try and count back. Um, Let me work it back. Last week we were at Geeker. I'm going to say, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who'll help me. He's got a good memory. And let me just get my phone out. Give him a call. Yo, Agnar, you there?
Yes.
I got. Don't panic. Don't swear. You're live. Don't make any bad usual Agnar jokes. I was just talking to the divvies. We're up to 500 viewers right now, Agnar. It's good. It's good. I'm showing them around the ship. I'm from the sound of cags near you. I'm guessing I know where you are. I'll leave you alone for a bit. But before I go, where have we been since we were last on the Baltic Star? Do you remember? Last week, we've just been in Geeker. I'm trying to count
Yeah.
back since we were last on the Baltic Star. A week in Geeker.
Well, we had a couple of trips on the seamstress.
That's it. A trip on the seamstress from De La Rue.
Yeah.
And then the
We've been
seamstress
there as
again.
well.
So it's been nearly a month, right? Since
Yeah. There's been a lot. There's been a lot.
it's felt like a couple of years, to be honest. Time is the opposite of flying, I'd say.
It's flown by. It's flown by, I would say. Speaking of Dillabro, I've got that medication you wanted for your dodgy stomach.
Oh yeah, Dillabelly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll try and get on top of that. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. I'm guessing you're in the bar.
I am indeed. Me and our new friend Cags. Say hi, Cags.
Hello.
Have you started him on the good whiskies and working down, or the bad whiskies and working up?
Well, we're starting with the good, obviously, because there's so many here. By the time we reach the latter half of the whiskies, then you won't really be able to appreciate them.
It's true, but I have another question. What are we doing? I mean, right now, what is happening?
Well, I'm on the phone to Cara.
Okay.
Cags, you're currently dropping my viewer count. It's gone down from 500 to 472 in the last minute. So if you don't mind, I'll come and see you guys at some point soon.
Excellent.
Awesome. Right. Cheers, Agnar. You look after our new friend. Keep him honest. Teach him the special naked dance he has to do in front of the Grey Hill poster.
Yeah, sure, no problem. And Agnar will raise a glass. Cheers to Cags, and just shake his head as Cara says naked dance.
We're back, Diffuse. How was that? A special little interview with Agnar. We know you love Agnar, especially those of you that joined us for the race. He was the floofy man with that big electronic banner. He was waving it loud and proud. Some of the blimps took a good shot of him, looking rather drunk and swaying on the edge of a mountainside at some point. What a man. He is as integral to the race win as I was. And he's a very, very sexy boy. But anyway, dear viewers, look, we're back here on the Baltic Star. And you have to apologise, please. It's been so long. And I'm going to walk down these corridors. I'm going to show you around a little bit. I think I've set up my software properly. You should see a little mini me wandering around. And at the moment, we are in the corridor at the top of ship. And if you look all around here, I have decorated these walls. I was only allowed 5 meters either way. That was quite strictly enforced by our old captain, this guy called Richard Davis, who is no longer with us. He's not dead, but he's gone on some big adventure, which is a deep night, I believe. They've sent a big ship, and we're going there first. But we're sort of delaying everything at the minute. But don't worry about that. We'll get there when we get there. They'll wait, won't they? It's not like they've got anything important to do. But yeah, so look at all my graffiti. It's beautiful. It started as tags, and it's got bigger and bigger and bigger. I love it. It's creating a posy vibes at the top of the ship. Unlike the bottom, you'll see when we get there, the mood is much darker down there. We call that we we call it the moody bottom. We don't talk too much about it. But I've got some friends down there, and we're heading that direction now. But before I do, we've got to go through. We've got two choices. We're either going through the power plant, which ain't great. My hair all stands on end, and everything goes a bit weird. So instead, we're going to cut through the crew common area. Now, when this ship was a standard liner, passengers such as myself at the time wouldn't be allowed through here. But now we run this place. It's under new management, and so I can go wherever I want. Look, in I go, out I go, in I go, out I go, in I go, out I go. Now that little box there to the left is where we keep our freshers. We'll talk about that later. But here we are into the crew common area, and it's not empty. Look who is here. I'm quite excited, ladies and gentlemen, because we have hit on Baltic Star royalty, and actually my heart is beating quite heavily. Kronsorama, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yes, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. My viewers have literally jumped up by 34 since you came on screen because, wow, that you just make that vest look good.
It's apparently what I'm here for. Also, on the side, some engineering.
Well, I can tell you've been doing a lot. It looks like you've been working out. You seem to be feeling it better than you used to. What? We've had all these adventures for like the last month, but I wanted you to come. I begged you to come, but you didn't.
There were things that needed doing here because the ship was in the process of a bit of an upgrade, courtesy of our new benefactors and employers. So I stuck around to help oversee that process, but also somebody needed to take care of the cat.
That is true. How was that? How was that experience? I can imagine you could have probably written a book about those experiences.
I think there was a period where the cat clearly had the upper hand, and then there was a period where I fell further behind, and then eventually we kind of agreed to that sort of truce where the cat did whatever she liked, and I just followed around.
Caboodle's looking great. She's back with Rose now. Are you going to miss not being the key person in Caboodle's heart, or have you got sneaky ways to make sure she keeps coming back to you?
I think sneaky would be too harsh a way to put it, but I think Caboodle will get used to exploring the whole ship. I'll see plenty of her, I'm sure.
Mm. Now, I'm hoping to pop into see Rachel later on. I'm sure she said she was going to give a proper uh, introduction to some important changes at front of ship. But have you got any insight into any of the other exciting things that have happened to our ship for this big adventure we're going on?
Well, I think she'll take you through them in detail, but broadly speaking, we have some changes to our jump capability. We
Right.
have some weaponry, should we need them. Um, as
Whoa, whoa,
somebody
whoa, whoa,
who,
whoa! We've got guns now. Pew 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 pew.
well, yeah, we have, and I speaking as an engineer, I don't really get to ever play with such things. I just get to. They're another thing that requires maintenance and checks and routing the power cables. But ultimately, I think we can say with um, some confidence that the that everything's installed and working. And if we're going to go to dangerous places, I'm quite pleased that we'll have some way of fighting back anyone who gets too close.
It is good. I do love the Baltic Star, but liners aren't always the best equipped. They're kind of like. Have you ever watched any of those old Terror and shows. There was one from, oh man, the late 20th century. It was about a like a ferry traveling between England and France over and over again. These two old countries.
Hmm.
A terrible, terrible show, terrible show. But it reminded me a lot of this kind of ship, you know. So,
Um, in general, rule of thumb, just saying, try not to get this one too wet.
I'll do my best. But you know, it's not down to me. While I'm on the ship, I'm here to party and make everyone happy, you know. Philosophize
Absolutely.
late at night when everyone's had a few too much to drink. I can discuss the meaning of life, the purpose that we have, who we truly are, whether that is indeed one glass, or two glasses, or four glasses, and you're just a bit too drunk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really one to drink all that heavily. I'll raise a glass for the right moment, but I'm not really a party animal.
That's for the best, Kron. I think that's why we love you. You did know that the ship has a Kronsorama fan club, right?
I did not know that, and I'm slightly worried now that you're telling hundreds of people that.
Oh, it's up to thousands since you've been on.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because
Good.
most of the Kronsorama fan club extension posse have joined.
Oh, fantastic. Well, nice to meet you all. Um, and I'm sorry it'll be a relatively short introduction because we're about to jump out of system.
Well, I'd like to say a special hello to one person. Most people pay 5 credits a month to be a member of the club, but one lady pays the diamonds. The diamond. She pays
Majestic!
a thousand credits a month to be part of your fan club. So could you please say a big hello and maybe flex a little bit to Colonica Debris?
Ah, Colonica. Yes, your reputation precedes you. Um, yes. Well, thank you very much for your support of Kara's blogging community.
And well, she's more a supporter of the Kronsorama fan club, to be honest.
Well, that's good too, I suppose.
And
Um, this fan club, does it get me any perks?
it does. You get to show off in special events that I've called the Kronsorama Flexing Challenge.
Is that so?
It is. The way it works is as follows, and I'm using this instead of clonk. It felt a bit wrong. We could do a flex instead. Kron, this is what happens. You have to go up against a competitor. It's me with my little weedy muscles. I've been working out though. Feel them, feel them. You know, I've been carrying a lot of heavy things. I've been
Okay.
I've been stabbing a lot of people recently and punching them. I've been getting. I'll tell you all about that another time. It's good over a few drinks. You and I are both going to flex. We're going to do that by testing our strength and our dexterity. And whichever one of those is our best skill, and we're
Okay.
gonna see who flexes best.
Okay. All right. Best of strength and dex.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a triple threat. It's a best of 3 flexes because you know as you flex more, more veins pop out. You know.
And all right. And do we get to add athletics strength or athletics dex?
If you're feeling up to it, sure. It makes no difference to me. I'm useless at both.
Okay.
But while you pose, don't. If you hear the sound of a camera shutter, don't worry about it. That's just part of the thousand credits a month. Okay.
That's just me imagining things, right?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Right, let's do our first flex.
Oh,
It's not a good flex. Oh, it's a 5 flex.
it's a total of 6, I'm afraid.
Oh, it's not one of your best, Crom. What's happening? Are you
It
holding
is
it
not.
back? Are you holding it back? Let's,
Yeah.
let's go again. I'm feeling the strength. It's coursing through my veins now. I'm gonna. Come on, come on, muscles. Come on, Kara. Oh, Big Ten, car of six.
11.
Oh, Cron, what are you doing to me? Oh, don't say you're
I'm
not.
sorry, but he's got +1 strength and +1 athletic strength.
Don't say you're not impressed, though, Cron. Look at this. Look at the outlines here. Pretty good. But against a man like you, yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm going to stand back. You do one. I'll film this one. You do one for just to show off your glory. Go on. I can't beat a man like you, Cron.
That's actually not bad. That's a total of a 12, including his
Oh,
stats.
it gets better every time. Well done. Well, I think that's well worth 1,000 credits a month. Cron, as always, you're an absolute legend. You keep the ship running. You are the glue that holds us all together, and your fan club adores you.
It's good to have you back aboard, and I'm sure the kitten was happy to see you too.
She was, and I'm sure she'll remain happy to come to you whenever there's a chance. You take care, Cron. See you soon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting the camera quick because I know that if I stay on Cron for too long, it's just going to be far too much excitement for one day. We need to ease things down a little bit, and we're going to ease things down by going to the miserable bottom of the ship. Everyone, flick your fringes out, put on your sad faces, get moody, moan about how your parents have grounded you one too many times. And I'll try and turn the exposure up on the camera to get a bit of light into these murky corridors. We're heading to the deep, deep south. And first, look at that, right opposite the door in this dark and murky corner between the stinky toilets and the lifts down to the cargo bay. Just as the monkey tails are raiding us, I believe. Look at this, my viewers have gone up, the monkey tails. Good evening, monkey tails. You're too late for Cron, but thank you for joining us here. My name is Laska. I am leading us through a tour of the Baltic Star. We are finally back. We are excited, and we're chatting with any friends we can find aboard. We're going over some of the adventures we've had recently. We've had Rose, we've had Cron, and the next one at this door. If he's inside, I can't guarantee it because he is a difficult man to find. But if everything aligns properly, if the stars align and things are looking good, there is one absolute legend. And let me knock at this door and see if there's an answer. He doesn't always answer immediately, but let's see how it goes.
Hello. Come in.
It is the sensational Stefan Miller. Good evening, Stefan. I've barely seen you since he's been back. How are you doing, man? So don't me.
Sorry.
How very
no,
dead.
no, sorry.
Whoa, Stefan.
I thought you were Soraya. Come on, come in.
That's
How you doing?
I'm hurt. I'm so happy to see you, man. I was really worried about you. Come on, come here for a hug. I know you're not a big hugger, but come on, get in close. Come on.
Okay. I thought we had a rule about the bottom half of the ship.
The bottom half of the ship, the emo half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you watching my stream?
You're not streaming, are you?
Yeah. Look, here we are. Look, come on, come in close. Come on. Stefan, come on. It's okay. Everything is fine. We're out of system now. We're about to go to jump. Everything is good. You definitely didn't stab someone in the throat and then run away. It's all fine.
Well, okay. You said it now.
Wait, are those toasted sandwich crumbs? How many of those did you have? You're only here for like a day.
I'll count the plates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh my goodness, man, that's not good for you. You know, it's lucky you're near the freshers. And I wonder the smell's a bit wonky around this corner. Oh.
No, don't do that. They weren't. No, it was mostly sweet ones. I only had one savoury.
Ah, beautiful.
Not a lot of protein, but that's probably for the best.
Yeah, probably. What's it been like being back on the Baltic Star? You've been back like a day or two more. I heard you were a bit in hiding, just in case. But are you happy to be back?
I tell you what, it was It was peaceful. It was wonderful. I'm glad you lot are back as well. Obviously,
What do you mean was wonderful?
it's nice. It's nice to be home, and I'm very excited that we're all back aboard the Baltic Star.
It's been a very long time since we've all been together on the Baltic Star, and a lot has happened since then. But for me, nothing has happened quite so brutal as you running up to a man on a balcony and stabbing him through the neck. Please tell us what went through your mind at this time for the viewers. We're safe, of course. The viewership has changed slightly to the. We've gone from the Consorama fan club. I changed the tag. It's now Macabre Crimes, true crime hour. So tell us now that it's all safe and nothing can happen. What there was a reason behind it, of course.
Well, allegedly.
Sorry.
You left out the description.
Allegedly, yes, of course.
Innocent
all
until
fiction.
proven guilty, Cara.
Yeah,
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like the footage, you mean?
No. I mean like jury and a trial, and deemed guilty by peers beyond reasonable doubt, Cara. Beyond reasonable doubt.
Peers?
Allegedly, no. Listen, you were there, weren't you?
I was there. I was.
You were.
I'd had a long conversation with one Anton Fess beforehand. We just landed, didn't we? We just landed on Geeka, and we were having a nice. We'd organised a nice. We'd booked a hotel. I'm just gonna take a minute because I'm getting a song playing in my head.
Yeah,
it's exciting. You know what I mean? But it's good. Yes, I'm picturing the night out. We'd booked into the hotel, and then we went to our favourite Geeka. Well, it was our favourite Geeka club. I guess we can't go back there anymore.
The Cascade.
Cascade, loved it, man.
Cascade,
we went there so many times on our trips, and I thought it was gonna be another good night. We had the whole crew out. There was a whole big posse of us. We were going there. We'd had a good day. Agnar had his afternoon nap, so he was feeling good.
Yeah. A rarity nowadays, but yeah. Do you know what? I was getting really good vibes from the evening. It felt like everyone was on good form. And I even brushed my hair out my face a little bit.
It was looking good. Yeah, not just relying on the to blow it out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Agnar was looking good. He was still only 42, very young age, of course. Very youthful.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Not anymore. Old. 43. My goodness, how old is that? So old.
No.
But no, the night was good. Like, I know you had some troubles with Sarai. It seemed like you had a bit of a fallout. You said something about her outfit or something, a jumpsuit that she took badly.
It was a passing comment. I didn't even realise it was a thing until later. But luckily for me, I did something far worse.
Yeah, but you sort of did it.
So all was forgotten about the jumpsuit. Allegedly.
But let's face it, I can't fault you. I'm pro Stefan in this case. Unlike our floofy Hippocratic idiot at the other end of the ship, at the front of ship right now, I'm Team Stefan because I was talking to Fess and he was freaking me out. When we got there, he was talking about the Pelago race that he was involved in, that he's been sort of signed to help out this team. But you know what he's like? He's well creepy, isn't he? He started doing all this
you and I chatted with him for a bit, didn't we? We sat down, we had a drink. And as much as I say we were on good form, it felt as though he was on form for him. Not good, obviously. But it was certainly giving me the creeps.
He was very, very creepy that night. And there's just weird stuff going on. He just gave me the bad juju. Do you know what I mean? I chatted with him for a bit. I had to be out of there. But you sort of, I don't know, you sort of tried to mess him up, didn't you?
Well,
I don't blame you.
Can you see who's watching this? Who's watching? Flash up the list. Make the list come up. I've seen you do it before.
Yeah, there's Colonica Debris here. She's saying, take off your top, she's saying. I think that's for you, not me. I think. But it could be. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, she seems to be the main one on here. But there's a few others.
No. That's fine. Just He started following Sarai into into the nightclub. And I was a little bit hasty, perhaps you might say, allegedly. But I was worried, you know. I think she tends to be a little bit protective of me, and I tend to be a little bit protective of her. It's not something that we talk about a lot, but it's true. We've got each other's backs. And I know he's not as rash a person as I am, and he probably wouldn't have, like stabbed her in the neck or something. But yeah, I'd like to think I'd do the same for any of our crew. But
you did,
particularly so I was a little bit concerned.
And that night you did, because he was. But I saw the footage afterwards. I lost track of it, of course, because I was getting freaked out when Soraya sort of framed him for grabbing stuff off the floor from belonging to another team. His eyes looked murderous, and as she ran and he chased her, you were straight on it. And the footage showed that he was going for her. He was looking for her. Unfortunately, the footage also showed you running your blade right through his throat in the middle of a lot of people.
Supposedly. Somebody that looked a lot like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any, at the time, was much going through your mind? Like, one thing I was thinking that might have gone through your mind was the time on the seamstress when you were the were you the lord of the brunch?
Yeah, I still am, unless something's happened.
Tell me, do you think? Do you feel that's a legit thing, or do you feel that you flirted with cultish ways at the time? Just a minute for our viewers.
Are you saying I was drawn into a cult and that's why I stabbed somebody in a nightclub?
Well, I did hear that you. I did hear that you asked.
Because that's.
You did ask how much it was to join. I heard.
Well, I know you're a big fan of philosophy, and I'm not sure whether this counts as philosophy, but somebody once told me that it's okay if you speak to God, but it's not okay if he speaks back. And I can tell you for certain that the Pope and I, the Pope of the supposed cult that we were hired to protect, didn't say too much to me. And we'll leave it at that.
Do you think they believed in your Lords of the Brunch ways, or do you think they saw you for what it really was?
What do you mean?
Well, you know. No, come on.
I've still got the headpiece. Look, I've got the headdress over here.
It was just a little joke, wasn't it? It was just a little bit of bants, wasn't it? That's what it was. You didn't really believe it, did you? Come on, man. It was just a bit of fun, wasn't it? It's just,
if it's not me, who is it?
It was just a little bit of fun, wasn't it? Come on. You know, don't mess with me. Don't twist my melon.
I
almost said you did.
It was a role that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm not against taking it up in the future. But no, I certainly wasn't about to join I forget the technical term for it, but I suppose we're already on here talking about crimes anyway. The pyramid scheme, that is that particular cult.
I get you. I got you. So anyway, I think I have. In fact, yes. There you are. Thanks for putting the headdress on. I appreciate it. So you have kept it. That's nice. So tell me, man, I didn't see you again for ages. You went on the run, right? You and Sarah. We had to keep it quiet at the time. But how was that, man? Like, we've all done stuff in the time. I had to run from a nightclub back in my earlier days, of course. Quite famously, my friends covered for me, which was great. But you went proper underground, right? How did that feel?
Honestly, it was kind of nice. It's kind of a little bit, like the good old days. Me and my comrade out on the run, ducking and diving, hiding away. I mean, it's not fun. We shouldn't glamorize it, but it felt kind of comfortable.
Speaking of comfortable, what sort of hotel did you end up in?
It was a dive. It was automatic. You know those auto check-in places where you check in and you've got to check out for like an hour. I think it might not be an hour. But you've got to check out for at least a portion of the day so that they can get some bots in or spray some like disinfectant from the ceilings and coat the whole room and clean it that way. And the chemicals they use are bad for you, so you've got to leave.
Yeah, I've noticed your forearms were looking a little bit scabby. What's
Yeah, I've had a bit of a cough as well for a couple of weeks, but it was that type of place,
Saraya told me that she sort of ended up giving herself up a bit for the thinking that it would save you somewhat. She got lucky in that they had nothing to hold her on, but her giving herself up helped her to make contact with Sephron, who helped get us off the planet, which is good, I guess. But when it was just you and you alone, that must have changed things up, right, man? Like, tell the for all our budding viewers looking to escape a planet, how did you go about doing it? And there's at least 12 of them because I know what you're like, subscribers.
Especially that Canonica.
Oh, fuck, yeah. It's not even a real name.
Well, I went from living the life of Riley in a cesspit of a hotel, motel, automated room service type place with Saraya to well, basically I made contact with a former colleague of ours. I won't mention them because they may still be on planet or in system, and they put me in touch with our new friend Cags.
Ah, Cagsy. He's a character, isn't
he? He is indeed. I felt a little bit. He reminded me a little bit of me in the, back in the good old days.
Back in your peak days.
Yeah, except I wouldn't have left myself waiting on the edge of a cliff for 24 hours whilst I was doing God knows what.
He told me that he could have picked you up quicker, but you were being cheap. And the thing is, you're like clearly the richest of all of us.
Listen, if you do,
I've barely got any money left.
Don't bring up the price with him because he hasn't asked for it yet, so I haven't paid him.
Well, I think he's quite happy because Saraya did a deal with him and offered him transport pretty much instead. That's why he's with us. He's a decent guy. Oh, one more question.
Saraya always comes to the rescue.
She's good,
Sorry,
isn't she?
I
do have one more question though. What do you think of before I move on? But in fact, I'll tell you what. The chat are saying they love you so much. Will you follow me for the rest of my tour down the dark side of the ship? Come on, you're not doing
where
anything else.
Where are we going?
Here and there and here. Pop our head around a few doors, see what we're doing. Come on, grab your bathing trunks and a towel. Oh, you're dressing.
You asking me on a sauna date?
Yeah, come on. But not. Okay. We'll go somewhere first, and we'll finish at the sauna.
Yeah,
I don't like to go straight to the sauna. I'm kind of a third date sauna girl.
Toasted sandwich first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the final question?
Have you heard of Yana Teak, the newsreader girl? What do you think of her? Are you a Yana fan? 'Cause, she got replaced for it, didn't she? I think that Muffin guy. I can't even remember his full name, but Mr. Muffin Man, he was popular for a while. Which do you prefer of the two, from a presenter point of view?
From a news presenting point of view, I'm definitely a Yana fan.
Aye.
She threw in a lot of allegedlys when covering the story. That Muffin, he'd already decided that I was guilty.
Oh, you changed quickly.
Haven't even had a trial yet.
But then why have you? Let me just move the camera around. Why have you got this poster of Muffin on your wall? Did you think I would not see it? Totally got you.
That's for my look. That's my. You see all the holes in the face. He picks up a dart from the side. That's what that's there for.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, fair enough. I can see. Yeah.
Do you want a game?
What of fire darts at the muffin?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I've got time. There's 3 darts
Yeah.
each at the muffin.
Yeah, it's 5 points for the muffin, 10 for the head, and 50 for the nose.
50 for the muffin nose.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man. What skills am I using in this? Can I philosophize my darts to their target?
Oh, you can try. I don't think it will go well, but
Oh, why do I keep ending up in events that don't suit my very specific skill set?
I don't know. I hadn't even planned it. Ben, make a rule because I don't want to. I know Stefan's stats, and I don't want to load this heavily in his favour. Shall we say?
I don't know, because it's going to be competitive against each other, isn't it? I'm afraid. So whatever stats you pick,
I'm going to pick 2. I'm going to go for. We'll go for Dex, but also social, because it's a social game. Is darts. Give me a chance.
All right.
It's a Dex, social, and darts. So social plus athletics Dex.
Social plus athletics Dex.
And your
Fair
roll.
enough. If you're doing that though, mixing it up like that, I think Stefan can have Dex if he prefers, plus his athletics Dex if he's got it, or if he prefers carouse.
Oh, I prefer carouse. What's he been drinking down here?
I tell you what, I'm gonna keep things interesting, and we'll go dexterity with carouse.
Oh,
Because dexterity plus athletics Dex is a +4.
are you
Okay.
Are you a little drunk, Stefan? You seem to have a glow about you. You're talking much more loosely than normal.
Well, you've got to wash those toasted sandwiches down with something.
Well,
Do you remember that wine that Greyhill always used to recommend? He says goes well with bread.
Oh, yes, I. Oh, curse you! You've taken away my roll a little bit. It's just an 8 for me. You're carousing me too well.
Well, that's okay. Mine's a 5 + 3 is an 8.
Ah, that feels like a head to me. There's no room for Yana now. We're throwing up muffin.
Yeah, to be fair, you don't want. Nobody wants us to throw at Yana.
Equal scores after the first, Stefan. It seems like all your talk is not. It's not taking you the edge right now. Oh, and I'm just getting warmed up. A 10 for I. My social skills leading the way.
It's a good throw.
Darts is a talking game. It's not a skill. It's all about the talk.
Alas, mine is a 9.
Ah.
Think you got me.
Well, one more
Last
dart.
one.
No, go for it.
After you.
Go for the nose. Get him on the nose. Oh no! Just a 7 for I. Just the body.
Nose.
Well, I'm sure you nudged the elbow a little bit as I threw.
Mine's a 10. I did indeed, but I'm not adverse to the odd sneaky masterclass whilst playing darts.
I can accept when I was beaten by I would say a better man, but let's just go for a cheatier man. Well done. I can see that throwing darts at Muffin is indeed a very enjoyable game. Now, I'm glad you're in your dressing gown. You look ready to go. Shall we?
I am.
Shall we leave Muffin behind and head out into the night?
Shall we?
Shall we? Wonderful. Right, dear viewers, we are back. Look, we're leaving this room of this pit of squalor behind. We're heading out into the danger rooms. Dear viewers, remember your flak jackets and your emo cuts, for we're into the belly of the beast, down at the bottom of the ship, heading along here. Stefan, what is this written on the wall here? This is This is very dark poetry indeed. Did you write this?
That's no. Well, I didn't write it. I copied it out. But yeah, it's just a little bit of Edgar Allan Poe.
I appreciate the penmanship.
Thanks.
I'm worried about your mental state. I think we need to. I think we need to visit the doctor. He'll put you right. Let's go see Gerg. Have you heard he's changed one of the cabins into a little med bay?
Is he a head doctor now as well as a doctor?
Well, he's the only doctor we have, so I guess he is the head doctor. Oh, you mean the other side of head doctor?
Yeah.
I've been teaching him philosophy in my spare time. I've not had any spare time for a month, but that's why he's not very good at it. Come on, let's go down. It's down here. I'm surprised you haven't been in. It's only like 4 doors down. It's the room opposite the low berths. That's how I remember it.
3 doors down would have been.
3 doors down, yeah. 3 doors down. Sarai's not in, is she?
Opposite the low berth?
Yeah, opposite
There's
the low
loads
berth.
of low berths.
Yeah, but the low berth door.
Oh, okay.
You can tell because the frosty chill opens out. It's perfect. The frosty chill of the sawbones. It's like the night crawler. Hey, Gerg, you in?
Yeah, not too loud. Cat's resting.
That's cats. Oh, cool. That would make a lot of sense. Oh, anyway, how you doing? I've not seen you for a while.
Yeah, all right. It's been a pretty quiet time for me until, well, now it turns out that pretty much all the work I need to do is back on the ship.
Right. You came down with us, but barely saw any of you. It was weird. Like, there's been other times where we've been able to really hang out a bit, but not this time around.
It was, watching the messages fly back and forth and the chaos of what was going on seemed a bit strange, but truthfully, it was pretty relaxing for me most of the time. Got to stay in a nice hotel, watch a bit of sport. Yeah, it was good.
Gerg, what's this funny little metal hammer do? Am I meant to hit people on the head with it? Dunk!
Well, among the experts, they say you should aim for just below the kneecap.
Okay. Stefan, stick your knee out.
Or
Stick my what out?
What? Boom! God. No, the other knee.
Oh!
You see, now that I think about it, it's a weird thing because I've been spending a fair amount of time with Zoe, and when I now think back to my medical training, lots of the things she says are also very similar to what you learn in medical school. Like, make the incision just below the sternum and aim for between the 3rd and 4th cervical vertebra. It's weird that.
She has different motivations, I think, for aiming between those vertebrae.
Yeah. She's not technically a medic. She's more or less the exact opposite, in fact.
There's 2 things that I believe my viewers want to know from. They're saying they love your lustrous hair. By the way, there's a lot of call that they say you should have a TV series after you.
The hair is
show.
a strength. There's no question. I do enjoy the hair.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Chat definitely does. 2 things I want to know, and I think chat wants to know as well. Secondly, the second thing we'd like to know is the treatment of the 2. I guess I'm sure you had a look at Zoe when she came back. She took a bit of a hit. Agnar did what he could do, but you're the pro. And Kat, we'd like to know more about Kat. But first, what is Geeka like as someone that gets to go and enjoy it and not get caught up in espionage and racing and stabbings and things like that?
It's genuinely very, very nice. It's the atmosphere is lovely, the scenery is beautiful. Everywhere you go, the peaks are good, and when you get to the edges and you can see the peak next to you and the one beyond that, I think Lake Simel is beautiful, and the little boats out on it look tremendous. And the hotel where we stayed, the Coronet, was fantastic.
Tell me more about. Tell the.
We need a
Yes.
holiday.
Oh, mate, tell me about it.
I
You're
spent
looking
all
very.
the time down there working.
Well, we're out in the sun, and you look very pasty. And for a man with a relatively olive skin, that's saying something. I've never seen you so white. You look like you've seen a ghost. We need a proper break. Earth Park was
Definitely.
a very short memory from a very long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, Earth Park's lovely, of course. There are lots of nice things to see and do. And there's something nice about the fact that when you get to the sort of edge of the island, because you're up on a peak, every direction you can look, you just see the glittering ocean out there.
It's a beautiful place. I'm really gutted that. Well, we probably can't. Well, we kind of cleared our name somewhat, but I'd feel weird going back to Geeker now. And even if we did, we're we're banned from Earth Park. Well, you're not, but the four of us are banned from Earth Park, aren't we, Stefan?
We are. They didn't
Remind me
like
why
the
that
way
was
I-
again.
Well, they didn't like the way I did a backflip, I think, in the forest area. They said it was too good. And it
No,
put,
I heard no one saw it though.
well, no one saw the good one, obviously. The one where I fell flat on my face. I'm pretty sure you caught on film, didn't you?
Oh yeah, always do.
If not saw.
I'm always there for the right moments.
Yes, well, it's your biggest skill.
Gerg, I would love you for those watching. We're going to do a little bit for the Geeker tourist board. We've got nothing against Geeker. We love it there. Honestly, if we could go back and spend years there, I would happily would love it. Could you sum
It's a
up?
killer place.
Could you sell to people the Coronet and the Cascade in just a few sentences each, and how spectacular they are?
The Coronet, it's a very neat idea for a hotel. It's built half in the lake and half on the land, and based around a series of towers connected together with these interconnecting hanging bridges. It's a it's a really beautiful and distinctive building, but also because it's got this lovely lawn that runs right down to the lakeside, and then little piers for pleasure boats and things like that that step out into the lake. You get this very sort of strong sense that when you're within the curve of the building itself, in that central courtyard, with the water on one side and the land on the other, that you're in this little private paradise. It's truly lovely. And as for the Cascade, I mean, it's a pretty good club, pretty good drinks, but the trick with the waterfall, it has to be seen to be believed.
They freeze it. If you've not been before, the waterfall freezes at a certain time of night. Oh, the light comes in. People go break ice off, put in their drinks. Spectacular, isn't it? You can swim through underneath beforehand, and sweet as, mate, sweet
It's
as.
astonishing the way they do it. So there's a waterfall falling over the back of the sort of rear entrance to the bar,
Your rear
and
entrance.
and then it's got a complicated rear end.
That's got complicated. A lot of things do in Geeker.
Oh, Luke
A
said
lot
the
of things
quiet
have
bit out
complicated
loud.
rear ends.
So it's
And-
those scrubs, Gerg. Sorry, I'm finding it very hard to concentrate in here right now.
and you can go around that waterfall. You understand? There's a walkway around it, so you don't have to go through the waterfall in order to enter the bar. But then at midnight, they literally flick a switch, and the waterfall freezes solid in mid fall. It is incredibly impressive.
And we're never going to see it again because, well, you've been signed up to this ship longer than us, and where the Baltic Star goes, we go, and we're going to goodness knows where, and we've all signed up for many, many years. How are you feeling about it, Gerg? The great beyond.
I signed up to be a medic on a starship. If I wasn't excited about the next planet, I think I'd have picked somewhere else to be a medic.
Speaking about being a medic, Stefan, could you ever see yourself getting educated?
Well,
Answer
you
for the viewers.
call me out in front of 621 viewers.
Oh, it's gone
It's
down.
a little bit.
I think it's because your dressing gown's not open enough. Open your dressing gown up a bit more. We'll get the viewers back up again.
Does that make me look more educated?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it makes.
Oh, well, in
something.
that case.
There you go.
Listen, I was speaking about.
Have you been shaving your chest again?
No, speaking about medicine. Has anyone checked in on the you know what? The
Moamps.
the eggs.
The Moamps.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Go. Have you seen the Moamp eggs at all?
Should we do that?
Okay, we should do that at some point. Yeah. Maybe,
At some
I'll tell you
point,
what,
yeah.
later this evening.
Not now.
You and I, we'll go up the front of the ship later, and afterwards we'll have a pop around, look, see what's going down with the eggs.
Okay.
If there's still eggs,
As long
or
as
if
it's
they're-
on the agenda, that's fine.
they could be 30-foot long, six-legged beasts by now, hanging out in the cargo bay. Bit nervous
I'm
about
not
it.
familiar with their growth chart. To be fair,
I mean, these are reptiles, so you understand that for the most part,
More interested in
there's
the
a
Earth's
fighting
growth chart.
chance that their growth will be limited by how much food they have. So it's good you put hundreds of tons of fish down there.
Yeah, oh, there's still hundreds of tons of fish. I worked hard for that. It's still nice frozen fish. We've got all that to sell. We're going to live the life of
Hopefully we've got
luxury
all
when
that
we
to
sell all
sell.
that fish. Oh, so much slate fish, there's shark in there. Oh,
do you know
good
what?
deals I did.
We should turn one of the staterooms into a sushi bar.
Now you're talking at the happy end of the ship, though, not the emo. I'm not having emo sushi.
Yeah, you can't have an emo sushi bar.
It's got to be happy. It's got to be nice. We'll put it up in the top right-hand corner, by the sauna up at the top. That'll be perfect. Nice bit of sauna, nice bit of sushi. Lovely, be perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kat. Sorry, I'm sitting on your little line. That's why you've started gasping a little bit. I'm so sorry. But, how you doing anyway?
Okay.
Now that you can breathe again.
Yeah, breathing's better.
Now, I want you to tell the viewers, the dear viewers, how amazing it was to explore an incredible island with me.
This is before the shooting thing, right?
Yeah, that went a bit downhill at that point. We
Okay.
did our thing, but
Well, we had a pretty good trip around the Pelago race. That was fun. It was fast. It was exciting. I kind of felt in my element. And
you're the best pilot we know. You nailed that race. Every time you were steering and running it, we were the quickest boat out there.
it was very good. And I don't know if you've checked in with the results.
I just assumed we won.
Is that what you assumed?
Yeah, well, you did such a good job, and we left it ahead. There's no way they'd messed that up.
Well, then in that case, if you haven't checked, I should probably tell you. Cassie didn't let us down.
Yeah.
The Pelago final on the stands, it was all purple and black. And yeah. And VCI did hold on to second.
Don't matter. Seconds nowhere. Get in.
And poor old Maglo had a lousy time finishing last, and they were also the ones who got the poisoning and the everything. That all went horribly badly wrong.
They didn't have a good day, did it? That's good. We did good, didn't we? We did something out there. I know we did other dangerous stuff, but we legitimately did something. We, by the sheer power of our force of will, we barged our way onto a ship for other purposes just to get to an island, and mostly because of you, and a little bit because of me doing my vlogging, we actually did something good.
It was a very, very good race. I mean, obviously, part of me would have liked to have seen the end of it, but I knew we had bigger fish to fry. And then
Not in a
yeah,
sushi bar.
we 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 fired out the complicated rear end and came ashore, which was a bit harder than I'd anticipated, but there you go. And then it all went horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah, it's tough, but we got some viewers here who joined, who started following because of the team, because of how we were doing, because we were the team of the youth, weren't we? We got the youth following. People were well into it. Um, if you're under 18, please cover your ears now. Kat, and I felt horrible making you do it at the time, but how was it having to kill someone?
Let's just say at the time I hated it, and afterwards, the more I thought about it, the more I hated it. But I've been able to have a quiet word with a couple of people who came in to check on me and talk through some stuff, and I can probably cope with the fact that sometimes out in dangerous places it's us or them.
It's good to know.
I think, Kat, the second that we stop caring and worrying about that, I think that's when we lose our humanity.
Yeah. I wonder where Zoe
Philosophically
keeps hers.
Oh, Zoe's a lost cause in that regard. But the rest of us, and you enjoyed, now you're finally on the Baltic Star. I want to tell you that that's not the norm. Anyone that knows us knows that combat is our very last choice. We would rather talk things through, make a deal, just go shopping for a week, anything rather than fight to kill. But it was an us or them time, and especially when Rose is involved, these carvings send people a bit funny anyway.
You can't mess around when they've taken one of your people. Rose was in terrible danger.
How? Yes, Stefan.
No, please.
I was just gonna say how far she's come, Stefan, since that girl that I randomly ran into in the posh part of Geeka that night, the thrill seeker with pleasing an older gentleman.
I've seen that video. You too.
Oh, not the one of her pleasing the older gentleman. I hope.
No, that's disgusting. Why would you say that live in front of 982 people? Listen, no, I've seen the one where you first met her and you high Cara Laska'd her.
This is one of my first high Cara Laskas, and yeah. I hit it at the very top at the very beginning.
It was very good. Very good.
Kat, we're going to leave you to up the geeks, indeed. Kat, we're going to leave you for a little bit, but in honour of the geeks, you and I are going to have one last competition, if that's okay. You don't need to. You can lie in bed while you do this. Stefan, open up your dressing gowns closed a little bit, and our count's pulling down. Open up your dressing gown just a little bit. Show both pectorals, please.
I wondered where you were going to go with that.
Please, thank you. We need a good target area.
Yeah, sure. Kat, also, I would recommend when you're feeling up to it, obviously, taking a look at the front of ship, as I believe Cara would call it, familiarising yourself with the vessel. We don't know what it looks like nowadays, but
it's not our responsibility.
We've heard it's been upgraded and it's looking good. Anyway,
In my mind, it's probably just magic. Right, good. Right, dear viewers, Stefan has positioned himself properly with both pectorals naked. And in honour of the Geeker Geeks, Cat's home team, and one that all of us love very much, I have in my pocket a few cheesy balls I bought with me. I'm going to moisten them in liquid, just some of your water, if that's okay, Cat. And we're going to throw them. We're going to take it in turns to throw 3 cheesy balls at Stefan's pectorals, and the person who gets the most to stick to them wins.
Okay.
Do you mind if I, and Stefan gets out, do you mind if I play the Geeks fight song on my phone
please do.
whilst this happens?
It'll add to the moment. It'll add to the moment.
All right. So what are we using for this? I think it's got to be Dex plus
Flat
Athletics Dex, hasn't
yeah,
it?
Dex. Go for it. An eight for a solid landing.
Yeah, I'm very pleased about that because if this was going to rely in any way on endurance,
Yeah, we're going to do 100 of them. We're just going to keep going.
yeah.
Oh, my first one. It nearly fell off, but it just stuck to his left pectoral. It's still there. Good shot. Very proud of it.
Okay, that is a failure for Kat for her first one. A total of a 7.
Oh. Kat, you don't seem yourself. Are you okay? I know you're injured, but come on. You've got a good target.
I'll do better.
Come on, I'm sure.
Just getting my eye in.
Socks wants to buy a boom, but it's not available.
Take a free boon. Who do you want it for? Pick a boon, Socks. I'm not going to click onto it now, but you can have a freebie. Cat, okay. Cat boon. Well,
okay.
I was hoping you were going to say Stefan.
Car is just a 6 this time, so it hits and slides down and off, down into the undergrowth somewhere.
Okay. That's a 15.
Oh, describe the hit, please.
It's embarrassingly.
It's what's remarkable about it is that somehow she manages to put just a little bit of spin on it, so the slightly soggy cheesy ball splits into 2, and one half lands perfectly on each of the pecs.
Oh, what a shot!
Wait! That was impressive.
Right, still one though. Still one.
I've got to know. Can you hit moving target?
Oh, here we go.
And he does his best, but it's not great.
All right. 9 looks like a 9 to hit this time then with a moving target.
Cat watches the best sort of jumping around thing and says, "I think the question is, can you be a moving target?"
Oh no, he's not jumping around. He's just trying to make his pec stance, but he's terrible.
All right.
He's not very strong.
Well, the pec dancing has caused Kara to get too carried away, and she's pinged it off Gerg's chest and to the ground. Ah, terrible! It's gone wrong.
That's a 14.
Oh, Cat, you're just too good. You're the
Lands
queen.
perfectly right on the sternum, right between them.
Now that was very good.
Cat, you're the queen. And viewers, those watching, I'm going to spend a few hours tomorrow evening coming up with an app game based around the Stefan Miller cheesy ball chest darts. It'll be free and available on the App Store.
Nice. Do you mind if I just before we go, Soraya will kill me if we let good cheesy balls go to waste. So both of you, see if you can in the mouth.
Whose mouth?
Mine. not gonna let good cheesy balls go to waste. I just said that.
All right. We're gonna have a go for this. This will be what, a 10?
Yeah, sounds fair. Well, sorry, got you in the eye.
Oh,
it
stings.
And that's exactly a 10 for Cat.
God, that's a good.
So what? 1 in the mouth.
Whilst he's half blinded.
Come on, choke it up. We've got one more place to go before I need the toilet. Come on, hurry up, mate.
Thanks, Cat.
You get better, Cat. You get better. See you soon, Gerg. It's a pleasure. We don't get to talk enough, but I'm a big fan.
Not a problem.
Especially of your buttocks in those scrubs.
I mean, come by any time, but keep the visit short, all right? She needs a bit of rest.
Of course. I've got we've got one more place to go, and a very special place. Come on, Stefan, you're dressed for the occasion. It's I'm looking forward to it.
Where are we going?
We're going to what an exciting bit that a lot of people don't know about these liners is that they come equipped with saunas.
I know that.
Well, you know that. I know that.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah.
It's they're on the map as the letter I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know they were? Do you know they were the letter I? Did you know that?
No, do you know what? These maps are like every 5 meters down the corridors, and I've never looked at one.
Well,
I know where my room is. I know where the lift is. I know where the toilets are. I know where the bar is.
That's because you've covered over your ones on the bottom of the ship with your emo ramblings.
That's true. But you know, it's a worthy cause, I think.
Well, we're going to go to that sauna, and but before we do, I've heard that I need to prepare you for it. Johnny Crest is in there. We love Johnny Crest. He's chilling out. We love Johnny, don't we? Johnny's good. Johnny's good people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And but I need to give you one. Sarai's in there, and I don't think you've seen her since you parted ways in the hotel. And,
yeah. Do you think maybe I'll catch up with you later?
No. This is. I'll be honest. This is kind of why I wanted you to come. It's maybe it's the time, you know.
You tricked me.
Yeah, I know. And
you tricked me with the promise of good times and cheesy balls.
I'll tell you what, bro. Okay. I'll tastefully film from the edge, but you go in then. But while you go in, I'll tell you what. While you go in, I'll go to the toilet. All right, and we'll continue this at a later date.
Yeah, I should warn you though, while we're here, that on the lower half of the ship we put a couple of drops of eucalyptus in our sauna, and you just cry constantly.
Oh, I see.
I mean, it's in keeping, but I don't
you.
want you to go in there without knowing it.
Yeah, I'm sure
know.
that's the case. I'm sure that's exactly the reason. I can see why you're, but it must be very strong eucalyptus because your eyes appear to already be watering before we're even in there.
Well, it's just the radial eucalyptusness. It's not a perfect seal on those sauna doors. Plus, it's a sad half of the ship.
Well, dear viewers, on that bombshell, I can see that my limit for this vlog is reaching the end, and so I want to take a pause. All of you, go do what you need to do, and I'll upload the next vlog. It'll be available for next week for this wonderful coming together. We're going to go do it in 5 minutes, but for the rest of you, you'll see it next week. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there. 2 long-term friends coming together in a eucalyptus-filled emo sauna. And so much more on the Baltic side. Thank you for joining us. And we've got so many more friends, so much stuff to talk about. We love you so much for being followers, subscribers. Clonica Debris for the thousands of credits you've given me just for secret pictures of Kronsorama's biceps while he's eating dinner. Perfect. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful week, everyone. We'll see you next week back on the Baltic Star. Stefan, any final words before you? Man, how many tears can one man have?
Do you have to do this spiel at the end of every video?
Yeah.
Is it
it's what you do? It's what you do when you vlog. Why don't you have a go at signing off? Go on. I'll have a freebie here. Make it good though, because if it's bad, you're not going to do it again.
Thanks, and Stefan will take the phone and he'll do that really cool shot where you start spinning around. It's not cool, but he thinks it's cool, and you're in, and all the background behind you is moving around past him really quickly. Thanks for tuning in. Stay cheesy.
Oh.
Thanks. I think it was all right. I mean, there can't be many vlogs out there with a crying man in a dressing gown saying "stay cheesy" at the end, right?
With cheesy
It's
balls
a niche.
hanging off his...
Yeah, it's a niche.
There's certainly a small pocket of people that would pay for that stuff.
Just get the right hashtags and it'll be fine.
Oh, well, and that is where we're finishing for the evening. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for that.
Thank you very much. That was enormous fun. We'll do a second one of these next week to introduce the rest of the ship, the rest of the crew, and catch up with the rest of the happenings on Geeka.
Indeed.
We hope people...
We covered a reasonable amount.
I think we did. We covered most of the story
Pretty
stuff.
good.
We decided. We hope you guys enjoyed it who are watching. We decided a couple of weeks ago that we were going to try things a different way. 'Cause all our mid-season stuff is just us talking through the episodes and so on. But it's the first time we've been back on the Baltic Star, literally because the last time we came back, which is like probably 2 years. No, we didn't even go back. Ben sort of played a thing where we chose whether we were going to go on the Seamstress. So there was never any role playing on the Baltic Star. So no one's ever seen us on the Baltic Star.
It's true.
So we thought it'd be nice to do a stream on that.
Which is a bit weird.
Even when Stefan got to the Baltic Star on the Geeka trip, I deliberately decided not to play it. Yeah. And I gave you guys instructions not to visit the Baltic Star on the way back from the Seamstress.
Yeah.
Mostly because Socks had been telling me how excited she was to have the Baltic Star.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly. And now
it is nice to be home.
Happy side and emo side. It's full of joy. Yeah, it's nice to be back on it.
Some saunas.
I hope they've not messed up the bar. I hope the bar's exactly the same way we left it. I loved it like that.
The bar is slightly different.
No.
You'll have to see. Though it has been teased courtesy of Rose's cat.
That's exactly.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. I guess before we go, we probably should talk about something that's happening tomorrow. Ewan.
Luke.
Ewan.
Luke.
Ben.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow we are. What are we doing? We're.
Oh, why did I ask you, Ben?
We're orbital bluesing. We're playing orbital blues. We're being sad space cowboys in space.
Very sad.
For a brand new adventure. Not only is it brand new, but it's not even brand new yet because the Kickstarter's currently out. Isn't that right, Luke? One of 6 of the Soul Muppet adventures that are in a new book released on Kickstarter. We will be picking up tomorrow night with dear friend Sock Fiddler, and seeing what weird space adventures Luke's about to take us on.
Yeah, a new adventure for Mac and Bill and Anna, and it will be. We've effectively only done one Orbital Blues scenario so far. Everything we've done with these characters has been one story, and this is going to be story number 2. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, same characters, new arc. We're going to jump right in. We're going to get some bounties, get into no danger whatsoever, and definitely not get TPK'd by Luke. Or get any more sad.
Hey, Kels. We just finished.
Oh, Kelly.
Watch it back. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's the first time we were on the Baltic Star. I think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah, I think you will enjoy this one. There was some highlights.
Very
in a good way.
It was
in a really good way.
Cara heavy, some Rose's cat, lots of fun and games on the ship. I think it was entertaining.
We threw cheesy balls at Stefan's nipples, if that helps you want to stay.
That's true.
Much of that happened.
Ben hit both at the same time.
I can't take credit for Cat's stats, especially given that was with a boon.
Yes, with the help of Socks.
Yeah.
Obviously.
We just want to thank you all again. It's more fun because you're here, guys. Because we'd just be shouting into the void otherwise, which we'd do. But it's nice to do it with people that buy into the stupidity of it all.
And we really like the interaction and drawing things in from chat, and it's good fun. It makes us laugh, and it adds to the hilarity of the evening, I think.
It does. It's been an absolute treat. And this was a very good idea, guys. I think this was a fun way to do a sort of mid-season roundup.
Definitely. And so we'll do part 2
Yes.
next week then.
Part 2
Finish
next
up.
week.
So anything else that happened in Geeker, we'll talk about next week. Set ourselves up ready for the second part of the season. It's going to be a shorter
Yep.
half of the season, I feel, but it's going to be...
It probably
second
will
half.
be.
Yeah.
But next time we may get to hear Agnar talking about the next mission, of course.
Oh, good old Agnar. He's going to be so drunk by the time we get to him, though.
Yeah, I don't know why he would be talking about that, but yeah, sure. Why not?
Why not? It works.
Yeah, Cara sets him up.
Oh, yeah. It'll be very floofy next week, Kels. Make sure you turn up because he's probably about 15 whiskies in with kegs, so the floof is going to be like sideways.
That is true. Not the good stuff, though, because the good stuff's all in his stateroom.
Oh, he's been lying to kegs. Interesting. Right. Good night, everyone, anyway. Sleep well. Whoever's going through clock changes this weekend, I hope it's good. 11 p.m. GMT. That's 2 hours earlier than this tomorrow for Orbital Blues. We could be well professional. We could be very different to normal. Soxa said she's not going to show up at all. She's not going to mess around at all. I'm straight down the line.
No music on the old points redeems.
Well, reminded me actually.
You've got to remember.
I must remember that. Remind me.
Yeah.
We're going to do exactly the same as we always do, though. We ain't going to.
But other than that, yeah, we're going to mess around.
It's still going to be us. Just a few things.
Just without music
available on the redeems.
Exactly. No sexy boys. That's very sad. Well, I'll just turn the sound off. We can still do a soundless sexy boy.
Surely, C'est la vie is royalty free. At this point.
No.
That's the most royal song there is going.
Oh.
We'll just play it on Discord. We'll link it on Discord just for a bit of joy. People can listen.
Yeah, that's true. We'll chuck any songs that we're thinking of into Discord.
Right, anyway, I need a wee. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you for joining us.
Enjoy the rest of your days and nights and weekends. Bye.